How do the world's biggest bands do social media? Hey, it's Matt from Supertape. And today I want to talk about how musicians with limited time and budgets can engage and grow their social media followers using some of the same strategies as some of the biggest bands in the world. I recently had coffee with my friend Anna, who manages social media for bands at a music marketing agency called Blackstar, and they work with some of the biggest bands in the world. Anna was kind enough to share some simple social media strategies that they use, and you can too. Although these strategies are simple, they're effective. I think most of us would love to have a post go viral, but that's not something we can rely on, and it often takes some sort of gimmick to make it happen. And gimmicks actually fail more often than not. Things usually go viral by accident, right place, right time. Or something just randomly connects with an audience, which makes that strategy unpredictable and unreliable. Instead, we need to focus on growing a solid following of actual fans who will listen to our music, buy our merch, go to our shows, and stick with us through the long term. So let's get started. This first point is no surprise, and you'll hear this again and again. Be consistent and have a cadence. Anna suggests posting at least twice a week on each platform. Of course, if you have time, more can be better, but not always. And it can be helpful to set up a calendar as a reminder and as a way to plan out future content. Just take a look at what's going on in your week and capture content. And even though you're not using it right away, it could be good for future posts. So why is consistency so important? When someone visits your profile for the first time and you haven't posted in months, they're probably not going to start following you. It has to feel alive and it has to feel like something's happening. You have to give them a reason to hit that follow button. So as musicians with limited time and resources and so many platforms to choose from, which ones should we focus on? Anna is a big fan of short form. Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts are the go-tos. You can focus on just one or two if that's all you have time for, but you should really cover all three. I've come across a lot of advice that says only post high quality content. And what I take that to mean is professional images and videos. And that always feels really daunting, to the point where I may hold back or resist posting something because it's not good enough. But Anna and her team take a different approach, which is sort of surprising given the resources that are available to some of the artists that they work with. They split content into two categories: casual and stylized. Casual is behind the scenes and fun. It's taken with your phone, it's out of focus, maybe bad sound, whatever. It's the real you. And stylized is more like professional photos taken with an actual camera, album covers, official videos, tour posters, promotional materials, and other non-album related photo shoots. And you should really have a good mix of both. One of the things that you should be doing is taking pics and videos while you're making music. Whether you're in a rehearsal space, in the studio, playing live, or on tour, and save those for later to cut up and post. We have to remember that this is about storytelling, connecting emotionally, and authenticity, which is a word that gets thrown around so much when we talk about social media. And what I think it means, and what I took away from our conversation, is this: if it doesn't feel like you, then don't do it. Find what feels like you and lean into it. If you don't dance, then don't dance. And if you don't want to put your face in front of the camera, then don't do it. It's important to find other ways to creatively show who you are. That's really the fun part. This next point is really important, and it's something I've talked about in other videos. Make sure that your profiles have a link in bio that's up to date and working, and they go somewhere that a fan can engage further. The tendency these days is to have a mountain of links, but a link that leads to a page of links can be overwhelming, causing decision paralysis to the point where a new potential fan may just give up. Also, make sure that your profile images and logos are consistent. You want your fans to recognize your profile and know that it's you across all platforms. And if you're promoting something specific, like new merch or a tour, make sure that those are consistent across all platforms as well. There were a lot of other helpful ideas and suggestions that came up while we were talking, and I'm just going to list them here as random thoughts. Use the carousel as often as you can. It gives fans more to look at, and the platforms love to push it. And don't worry about hashtags. They can look spammy and they're not really that helpful anymore. Never buy followers. Not only is it against terms and conditions, but platforms recognize when followers aren't real. And it will affect your overall reach and potentially get you kicked off the platform, and trying to get rid of those purchased followers can be a pain. In the past, it was important to consider days and even specific times of day to post, but that's not really the case anymore since feeds are curating content from a broader time period. So just post when you can. And this may seem obvious, but experiment and iterate with content that is working. Don't just stick to one formula, refine and improve it. If you're promoting a tour, you may want to consider using Facebook because you can focus on specific locations. If you're using TikTok and you're using your own music, don't go past 60 seconds. They'll strip out all of the audio and flag it as a copyright issue, no matter who you are. Follow who inspires you and who you want to see in your feed. Don't feel obligated to follow back everybody that follows you. Most larger artists have a very curated list. At the end of our conversation, Anna put it very simply. If you're consistently posting fun, authentic, short-form content, people will follow. And that's it. Don't make it harder than it has to be. You should be having fun doing it. I hope this has been helpful. Please leave your comments below. Huge shout out to Anna for sharing her insight and knowledge. Thanks.